What's going on, guys? Tommy here with episode number 3 of our Pokemon White Nuzlocke, Typelocke, Genderlocke playthrough challenge. I did a little bit of grinding before I started recording this, primarily so I could get all of the Pokemon up to the same level. And so, if I do have some issues, I'll have decent Pokemon to switch into, so that I don't risk losing Pokemon like I did in that first gym battle. So we will go ahead, we will take a look at the Pokemon that we have here. I'm not going to go in any particular order, I'm just going to go in the order that I've got them in right now. So first we have our Lugia Arrow. This is what we caught right at the tail end of the last episode. I'm really liking this Lugia simply because of the high defense and the high special defense. So this thing can take hits for days. It's got speed, so chances are it's going to outspeed something before it has to take a hit. During the grinding montage, I got this Lugia from, I believe, level 8. Yes, level 8 up to level 15. It learned Gust and Dragon Rage in the interim, which Gust I'm liking just because it's stab, and he's got higher special attack that he does attack. Dragon Rush, I'm sorry, I said Dragon Rage. I meant Dragon Rush, has a high flinch chance, and that power is just amazing. The only thing I don't like about it is the accuracy, but that is something that I can deal with in a future time. And then we carried over Whirlwind and Weather Ball. And so the second Pokemon that we have on our team right now is Lord Fire the Arcanine, our very regal Arcanine. When we found him, he was at level 8 as well. I don't think he got any levels during the last video, so when we did the grinding montage, I had to get him up a couple levels as well. And he's got the exact same moveset as he did before. I actually looked on a website, Bulbapedia. He will not learn a new move until level 34, and that is Extreme Speed, and that is the only move Arcanine can learn through level up. So, despite him being a powerhouse, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to use him just because I'm going to have to find TMs, which are all randomized in this. Like, any TM that I can pick up is not going to be the same one I would get in a normal, non-randomized playthrough. So trying to find stuff that he can use and that's going to be beneficial for him to use is going to be very difficult. He still knows Bite, Roar, Fire Fang, and Odor Sleuth. He's got pretty good attack and pretty good special attack. His defense and his special defense suffer a little bit. His speed isn't bad. Definitely not for a level 15 Arcanine anyways. So we'll see what we can do with him. And then our third Pokemon is Sparky the Electabuzz. Now this was given to us in the Dream Yard. So because it is a static Pokemon, meaning somebody is always going to give you a Pokemon, it does not count as an encounter. An encounter means I have to go into grass, water, or a cave in order to find a Pokemon. Because this one was given to me, does not count as an encounter. But it's because he's male, he's still a valid choice for my party. Because I had a discussion with somebody about that the other day. Because I did technically find him in the Dream Yard, but I didn't catch him, he was given. It would be the same if I come across a trainer that is willing to trade a Pokemon to me, and say I actually have that Pokemon. It is still, that does not count as an encounter for that area, for that city. And then this Electabuzz, he learned Low Kick right at the end of the last episode. He will learn Swift next level, level 16, which I will probably replace Leer with Swift. But right now he's got Quick Attack, Leer, Thundershock, and Low Kick. So he's kind of an all-around stat Pokemon. Nothing really stands out as great. The thing that I'm really liking right now is static. As I said, I just got done doing a little bit of grinding, and if anything hit him, it was hit with static. And so he's going to be my status inducer. And then finally, our final valid member of the team is Firefly the Volcarona. This Volcarona, that special attack is ridiculous. I was one-shotting anything that I came up against during the grinding montage, even though he only got one level during the grinding because I just wanted everything to be level 15. I felt like that was a pretty even level to go with, and he was, I believe, level 14 at the end of the last episode, so he didn't need much. He still has the same moves that he always had. He is not going to get anything until level 20, at which point he is going to get Gust, which he already has for some reason. Then I suppose in that case, well, if I forget Gust, then he will learn Gust at level 20. He'll learn Fire Spin at level 30, so the next big move that he'll get is Fire Spin. And then, of course, you guys saw in the last episode, I do have Scyther on my team. Scyther is only an HM slave. He's only a cut slave. Right before I started this video, I checked my team to see if anybody could learn cut, because if they do, then I'm not required, but I would feel personally obligated to remove Scyther from my team. But nothing learns cut, and so I still have him on my team. Now, I haven't done this cave yet. This should be the same area, if I recall correctly. But we're going to make sure. So yes, this is still Route 3. So, no new encounter here. I am going to just walk up and hit this, just so I can see what it is. During my grinding period, I did encounter... Oh, and it's a Crobat. Crobat is one of my favorite Pokemon. I love Crobat. It was my very first shiny. Way back in the original Gold and Silver. I don't remember which copy I had. I think I had Silver. But I caught a Zubat that I thought, this Zubat doesn't quite look right. But you know what? I'm going to catch him anyways, and I'm going to see, you know... I liked Zubat in the original, despite everybody's issues with him. You know, caves full of Zubats and everything. And when I went to check his stats, he had this little ring of sparkles, this little ring of sparkle symbols around him. And I wasn't quite sure what was going on. And then I just kept him in my box for a while. I never used him until I found the Red Gyarados out at Lake of Rage, and they actually talked about what that was and the purpose that played in the story. Okay, so I picked up the flinch on him, and I realized this is a Gyarados that's not blue, this is a Gyarados that's red, and this is just amazing. And so I found something special, and I went on the internet, which was pretty new at that point. This was like 1999, and people were talking about shiny Pokemon. And so I realized that my Zubat was special. And at that point, I pulled him out of my PC and started training him up. And evolved him into the Crobat that he ended up being. And it really broke my heart when I couldn't trade him up through to Fire Red and Leaf Green or Ruby and Sapphire. And so, essentially, I lost my first shiny Pokemon ever. That it was a legitimate shiny. It wasn't, you know, I didn't hack him in. It wasn't the Lake of Rage Gyarados that everybody caught. It was just something very unique to me. So anyway, I apologize for the rant on the Crobat there. I don't know why I went on that rant, but I did. Can't change it now. So, I am recording this on Thursday. It is my goal to get videos out earlier, or to get them recorded earlier so that I can actually take a little bit of time and edit and then publish to YouTube, because I recorded the video yesterday a little bit later in the day, and I edited it, and it took forever to actually publish to YouTube. I think by the time it actually got published, it was maybe 9 or 10 at night. I recorded it about 5 in the afternoon, if that. And so my goal is to start getting ahead of myself, so to speak, so that I can record earlier, get stuff out on time. I'm not gonna lie, right now I'm really just killing time, because I'm waiting on my booster box to come in today. I have checked all the tracking information. It is on the vehicle for delivery today. I keep going out and checking my mailbox because it's driving me a little bit crazy. I really just want it here already, and once it gets here, I can do the unboxing for it. Let's see how much money I have. I don't think I need to. I don't have much money. I don't think I need to get any more Great Balls. But we'll walk in here. I might be able to get this encounter now. I can. So let's go ahead and get the encounter for Wellspring Cave. We have a Weeping Bell. Is it male? It is male. So this Weeping Bell is it's not a bad choice, actually, surprisingly enough. I absolutely hate that whirlwind there. I did it during grinding a little bit where okay, that did a little bit more than I was thinking it was going to. I might just send out Electabuzz just in case Vine Whip actually manages to initiate static. I don't remember if it does or not. But regardless, Electabuzz is going to resist any sort of grass moves. And we will just start chucking Ultra Balls, or not Ultra Balls, Great Balls at it in the hopes that we manage to catch it. Hopefully we do. I will probably save, if I have any new Pokemon that I catch, I will save grinding for after the video is ended. I will try to use them if I can during the actual video, but they might be restricted just a little bit. I might come against a Pokemon that's really weak against grass, and I might say, well, Weeping Bell would be good, but I'm gonna hold off on it. So now let's see what we want to name this thing. I'm gonna call it Venus. Obviously, after the Venus Flytrap, that would kind of more easily fit Carnivine, but it is what it is. We're gonna go back. I don't like to go back and like spam healing, but anytime I catch a new Pokemon, I'm gonna go ahead and heal, because if for whatever reason it gets to a point where I have to use Weeping Bell, I don't want it to die. I don't want it to die in a single hit. And for some reason, healing also reminds me, hey, guess what? I got a new Pokemon. Let's go check it out. So let's take a look at this Weeping Bell. This Weeping Bell is level 10, knows Vine with Growth and Wrap. So it's not great. It's not horrible. It's got a little bit higher attack and special attack. It's not going to be a powerhouse of my team by any means necessary, but it is what it is. I will use it as best as I can. Obviously, it's my first encounter in that cave, my first valid encounter, so I don't have much of a choice in the matter anyways. If I end up finding another grass Pokemon that's a little bit better, then I will switch over. I would absolutely love right now for a Bulbasaur or a Chikorita. I would take either one of those. I would even take Snivy at this point. Which is funny, because I never really used Snivy. I used Tepig and Oshawott. I originally played this game quite some time ago on an emulator, like I am now, except that this was before it came out in America, and it's either Project Pokemon or the Pokemon Project. I can't remember what it is. They did a full translation. And so I patched the game, and it was their version of it, which is really well done, surprisingly. There wasn't, to my recollection, any grammatical errors or spelling errors or anything like that. And it was just very well done. And during that playthrough, I played Oshawott. Because I knew when I actually got the game, I was going to play with Tepig. As I've said, as you guys can probably tell from my trainer card, and from my excitement over both Volcarona and Arcanine, I am a huge Fire-type Pokemon trainer. Now we're doing our double battle. I'm a huge Fire-type Pokemon trainer, so almost any chance I get, I pick the Fire-type. Even with X and Y, when once I found out what the final evolutions were, and I thought, well, Greninja's really, really awesome. Chestnut is really, really awesome. Delphox kind of looks like a creep. I still picked Fennekin just so I could start off with that, or I could end up getting that Delphox. I think the only exception in recent memory that I have made to that is that when I did Omega Ruby, when I got that game, me and two of my best friends also received the game. Kaylin received Alpha Sapphire, and my friend Alex, her boyfriend, received Omega Ruby. And so we each started with a Pokemon, one of the trio, so that we could breed and get eggs and all that good stuff. And the rest of us could have those Pokemon as well. So it wasn't just one person got like Mega Sceptile and the other person got Mega Sceptile. Like, we all got the same. We all would get the same Pokemon. And so, I ended up picking Mudkip for that. Because Kaylin picked Torchic. Which I don't have an issue with at all. That's, I don't mind Mudkip at all. I like Swampert. I liked Mega Swampert. But 99% of the time, if I have the option, I'm going to pick the Fire-type starter. And then the only other occasion is the original Red and Blue. I picked Bulbasaur. I think I mentioned that in one of my videos. I can't remember if it's something that had to get deleted because of invalid recording or something like that. But I did pick Bulbasaur. This was before the internet. This was really before like widespread communication with people. And I just thought, oh, Bulbasaur. He looks kind of cool. I like him. He's this little green lizard thing. And so I picked him, and I don't regret that at all. Charizard is great. I think Venusaur in Generation 1 is a little bit more versatile. And we could have picked up a Poliwag here. No, we couldn't have. Never mind. I'm a liar. We could have encountered a Poliwag, but it would have had to have been male for it to be a valid encounter. So I'm just gonna try to go get this item over here, see what it is. Maybe it's maybe I'm gonna get really lucky. Come on, Master Ball. It's Rock Slide. I don't know if that's something that any of my Pokemon can learn at the moment. That would be great if they could. That would be great if they could. But nope, none of my Pokemon can learn Rock Slide right now, and that's okay. Like I said, I'm ex-military, so I will use this term a lot. We'll adjust fire. It's when something happens and you don't know quite how to react. You just adjust fire. You say, okay, I'm dealing with this right now. This is what we're going to go from here. And we pick up a couple more Pokeballs, some heal balls, which might actually be beneficial for a Nuzlocke, because that means that I don't have to run all the way back here and heal. And really, I wouldn't have to run back here and heal anyways, but we're getting ready to go, I believe, to a new route. I don't remember if it's a new route or not, but this is Route 3 that we're on right now. Well, we'll see. We've got the Choice Band. We just picked up the Choice Band already. That was not what I wanted to do. I wanted to go to the bag, so I can take a look at the town map. Am I still on Route 3? I'm still technically on Route 3. At the very least, I know I will get an encounter in... let's go ahead and hit this shaking bit of grass here. We'll just see who pops up. It's a Vullaby. So, Vullaby will always be female. That's one of the Pokemon that I have locked myself out from obtaining, because Vullaby will always be female, if I remember correctly. And we've got Sharon over here, so let's go ahead. Now, this is the other thing that I hadn't even considered. Double encounters I honestly had never thought about it. I'm still in the same route, so it's not a huge thing at the moment. Um, but I don't know. Like, we could do a double encounter, and if one is male and one is female, then that's fine. That's perfectly fine because I still encounter my male first, or I still encounter the first male. And we have Alakazam. So this is actually something I'm going to swap out to Lord Fire for, because he's got Bite, and Bite is going to it's gonna put some work in. And the big downside to Weepinbell is the fact that it doesn't learn anything stab other than Vine Whip until level 23 when it learns Acid, which is a poison type move. And then it learns Razor Leaf at level 39. Level 39 is really high. And he avoids the attack. So we're going to see, hopefully, how does he keep avoiding the attack? Because he used Kinesis on me. I had actually minimized the emulator window for a moment to look up Weepinbell's moveset. And so that was the reason why I was wondering why I kept missing. So we'll go ahead, we'll battle him, just because it's going to make it easy for me to get back up to the healing space relatively easily. As you guys can probably tell, I ramble a lot. I'm sorry, it's just who I am. I don't put music on because the emulators don't tend to play music very well, or at least the one that I have on my old computer never played the music very well, and so I always just ended up muting it. What I can do is I can talk to a couple of people to see about putting some audio, like some custom music or some original music into this. One of my friends, one of the people who really kind of got me interested in streaming, is a guy by the name of O'Nickel. And I'm really interested, he really got me interested in streaming. And so I might end up talking to him. He's got a band. I might talk to him and just see if I can use some of his band's music as some background music for this. He's got quite a bit bigger of a reach than I do, but in terms of fans and everything. But he's always been fairly open with people using his music for things like streams or YouTube videos. And using that might actually bring some of his fan base over here, which is never a bad thing. I'm making these videos for entertainment purposes, and so making these videos for entertainment purposes, it doesn't really make much sense if I'm not entertaining people. And if people aren't watching, therefore, I'm not entertaining many people. So, I'll talk to him, I'll shoot him a message on Twitch or Twitter or something like that, and just see if I can use some of his music. Failing that, then, as I always say, I'll adjust fire. I will figure something out from there, and we'll get some audio or something put on here. Nothing for you guys to worry about. Who is this? She's gonna send out. Wow, that was an almost perfect switch there for Lord Fire to come in. Because I can body this Matang in two different ways. I can body him with a dark move, which will just demolish the psychic weakness that he had, or the psychic typing that he has, or I can just fire type. And it's going to hit the steel weakness. So, this one's actually, I think I'll actually stick in with Lord Fire. It's not an ideal set, but At the moment, Lugia is the only thing that resists or is immune to ground. Everything else is weak. And I'm going to body that thing anyways, so it doesn't even really matter. And of course, I get an encounter the first piece of grass I step into. Now, I found a whole bunch of these Heracrosses. Now, Heracross is very near and dear to me. It always has been. Kind of wish that it had been my first encounter instead of Lugia, because Heracross is actually going to learn quite a bit. And he's going to learn it relatively quickly. But, I can't control the encounters. Lugia is going to be an amazing tank for me for a while, where I can just send Lugia out, and I take a turn or two to heal, and then I start hitting hard. It kind of sucks that Lugia... I mean, Lugia's moveset isn't bad. It learns moves... It alternates every 6 and then 8 levels. So, like, it just learned Dragon Rush at level 15, so it will learn Extrasensory at 23, and then Rain Dance at 29, and then Hydro Pump at 37. So, I mean, it's not bad. I don't even need to fight this. This is a wild encounter. It's not bad by any means. It's just... the moves are really stretched out. Now, the nice thing with Lugia is that it continues to learn moves, at least in Generation 5, all the way up to level 99. So, it's going to keep putting work in regardless. Now, let's see what I can do with this Axu. That's the one big downside to my team, is I don't have any water types. I do have... Let's just go ahead and bite. It's not going to kill it. I don't think it'll kill it. Maybe it will. No, it's not going to kill it, but it'll flinch it. And that's what I was going for. And that'll take care of that Axu. He's just sent an Elekid. So, part of me wants to just say to take care of him with Sparky. But it's been a little while since I've used Volcarona, and it's only fair that I send Volcarona out. You know, Volcarona puts in some amazing work, does some amazing things. And I really don't want to send in Sparky. Sparky's... I mean, he's good. He's gonna do quite a bit for me, but because his moveset is very limited at the moment, it's just gonna be... It was not very effective time and time again. And then if this Elekid has static on it, that puts me at risk of getting paralyzed. And I don't want that. So here we go. We are in a brand new city. I mildly remember this city. I think it's the same city where I get to do triple battles, but I don't quite remember either the triple or the rotation battle for the first time. So if this gym leader continues to use normal types, as they did originally, because I don't quite remember what's going on here. I mean, it just seems really weird to me that Cress, I believe that's who it was. We're going to pick up six Great Balls, and we'll pick up a couple of potions. I'm probably going to call that good. I have a couple berries that I don't need to worry too much about. Oh, I can sell some stuff, though. But I believe it was Crest that I faced in the last gym battle. And it seems really weird to me. I did not mean to sell that for $10. But I can get a decent bit for that. Not for that. Revives are absolutely useless to me because this is a Nuzlocke. Black Sludge. Now that's going to be useful to me, surprisingly enough. Because of the fact that Weeping Bell is part poison. So I'm actually going to go ahead, because if I don't do it now, I will forget. Since Weeping Bell is part poison. I'm pretty sure it's part poison. I should probably double check these things first. So because it is part poison, Black Sludge, it's the leftovers for it. So that's going to help quite a bit. It's also going to keep me from having to constantly heal. There should be a trade somewhere in this city. I just don't remember where it is. I thought it was in here, but I was under the impression I had randomized trades, but it might just be a case of, like, I had randomized both what they asked and what was given to me. Maybe not, which is a little disappointing because that means that I'm only going to come up with Generation 5 Pokemon from trades. But again, adjust fire, adjusting fire, fire adjusted. Let's see if I can. So I'm going to have another battle with N here, I believe. Yes, I will. I might see if I can go into the forest. If not, I know I can go into the area outside the forest, and that's another encounter. And if I can go in there, that's just going to be wonderful. That's 2 more Pokemon I can potentially encounter. And I completely forgot to check if Weeping Bell can learn Cut. But, you know, I've still got it open. I still have the page open, and Weeping Bell can, in fact, learn Cut. So that's nice. That means I don't have to keep around this this lazy little Scyther who I can't ever use, and I'm not going to try to level him up or grind with him at all because he's never going to get used. He's only here for Cut. He'll get put back in the PC. I don't know why I switched over to Firefly. I think for some reason, I don't know. I think I was registering cust. I faced about a half a dozen Combustions while I was grinding, which is firefighting. I don't know why I thought Torchic was the same. That was a stupid mistake on me, especially since I just played Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. But again, I don't have anything that can do a lot of damage to it, so it is what it is. Gust was not a bad move to pick. I don't have anything that's strong against fire at the moment. That's why I really need a water type. A water type would do me a lot of good right now. And then the question is, at some point I'm going to have to get rid of a fire type. I'm going to have to do it. It's going to be a choice between Volcarona and Arcanine. If I had to pick, I'm going to say that Arcanine's going to go back in the box. Because he only learns one more move. He doesn't learn it for another 18 levels. He doesn't learn it. He's level 16 right now, so he doesn't learn it till level 34. His stats are just, I mean, they're not horrible, but when you compare them to Volcarona's, they're horrible. And so I don't want to risk it. I don't. He is a primary fire, so there's not a lot of good bug type Pokemon out there. Heracross is one, so if I found a Heracross, I would probably get rid of Volcarona for Heracross. But other than that, there's not a lot of good bug type Pokemon out there, so Volcarona definitely takes over that spot for me. But there's a lot better fire type Pokemon out there. And let's go ahead, we will teach Weeping Bell Cut. Get rid of this Scyther who doesn't do anything. And then we'll go get another encounter. And that might actually be the last one that I do for the day. It is 10 after 2. So we will see. If I can get in the forest, I might get in the forest, because that's another encounter as well. We'll stick Scyther in the dead box, so to speak. He's only here for cut. Technically I could release him, but again, I'm just going to keep him there just for shits and giggles, I guess. I should have got the encounter before I walked over any. But we'll finish him off relatively quickly, or her, whatever it is. And then we'll go get our encounter. So Wingull, I don't understand the fascination with Wingull, because I personally don't like Pokemon that have ×4 weaknesses, because it's just too easy to demolish them. And so yes, this Wingull it is water flying, which means that this electric, this is going to kill it, guaranteed. It's the same with Ducklet. I don't get Ducklet. Why would you create a Pokemon like that? It's not useful. It's going to get destroyed. It's not worth it. It's not worth it to use it. It's not even really worth it to catch it. Unless you need a Pokemon with Fly, or a Pokemon... I don't even know if Pelipper or Swanna can learn Surf. I would guess no, but... that's just me. Let's see what we've got here. We have Cherim, but it's a female, so we have 2 more encounters to find a male. So encounter number 2 is another Cherim, but it is male. So the downside to this is, yes, I can catch it, but it's going to go in the PC anyways. Bite shouldn't be a one-hit KO. Yeah, it's not. So I should be able to get a second... I should be able to get a second bite off. Now, the problem with getting a second bite off is that if I do so, and it tackles me again, and it burns it, that's probably dead. Don't really want to lose an encounter in this area, so we'll keep chucking Pokeballs and Great Balls. Eventually we'll catch it. So Great Ball number 2, and that's a no-go. So we know that it has Growth, Tackle, and Helping Hand so far. So, not a real great Pokemon. But you know what? It's power in the PC. That's all that matters to me. So we did catch the Cherim. What are we going to nickname this thing? I'm going to nickname it Blossom. Which I believe that is not the correct name of it. Or at least not the correct spelling, rather. But again, as I keep saying, it is what it is. So let's go ahead. A Metal Powder. Not bad, not great. It might be able to sell it for a little bit. And let's see if I can get the encounter in here. I cannot. So that's unfortunate that I can't get that encounter. But, and while we are here, might as well check out this Blossom. So it is pure grass type, which is downside because I like Weeping Bell a little bit more. It knows Tackle, Growth, Leech Seed, and Helping Hand. So the Leech Seed is nice because that's just going to constantly heal it. But I have Black Sludge on Weeping Bell, which is going to constantly heal it anyways. So we will go ahead and stick this in the PC. And then from there, we will probably call this a day. I will do a little bit of grinding prior to the next episode, just so that I can get Weeping Bell leveled up a little bit. And our next episode, we will go ahead, we will take on our gym leader. We will get that gym badge. For some reason, I just realized this just now. So the first thing I'm going to do after I stop the recording on this is go update the trainer card with the Weeping Bell that we caught and with the badge that we got, which was the Trio badge. And we will go ahead and head out. So once again, thanks for stopping by. This will go up on Friday. Next video will be up on Monday. Gives me the entire weekend to work on it. I will also be doing the booster box unboxing, or rather the pack openings. I will do 6 packs per video, which I think is fair. That will probably get recorded here pretty shortly whenever I get it. One of my classes got canceled today, and the other one, it's a pretty light class anyways, so I'll have some time to record some booster packs opening, and I will probably put those up tomorrow as well. I will start tomorrow, and then I will have a new booster pack opening video up every day until I'm done, so 6 days. So if I start tomorrow, they'll finish on Thursday, and on Friday, I will have my deck building video, or my deck video. So that's just a little hint of things to come. We'll get that all set up for you, and just be prepared. There's lots of good stuff coming in the future. I've got all sorts of games on Steam. I've got all sorts of emulator games. I'm waiting on a translation project to finish for a game right now for the PSP. I do have a PSP emulator on my computer, and so we're gonna start getting a lot more videos up. I'm gonna do a lot of recording this Sunday. We're gonna get a lot more videos up. This channel is gonna be just flooded with good material. So again, if you guys have any requests, please send them to me. I want to see what you guys want to play, and I am very open to suggestions. So thanks for watching. Once again, Tommy out.